And back to live action from Albany, Georgia. Kevin Huff for Tuskegee. Shotgun, a pass into the flat. That time it's Henderson, and he picks up a first down.
It'll be first and goal.
First and goal at about the 5-yard line. Looks like the 6-yard line. And Tuskegee quickly driving. And this has definitely been a fast-paced game. A lot of movement in the air. I know you got those first quarter stats. Hopefully we can go over those here. It looks like Tuskegee though is trying to quickly punch this ball in. And Huff now in shotgun. He's got 4 receivers out to his far left and 1 single receiver to his right. He's going to keep it, and he's going to actually go down, only picking up about 1 yard.
He actually was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. The ball didn't move at all. I mean, they didn't move the chains at all.
You're right. It'll bring up a second and goal
from the 5.
From the 5-yard line. And it looks like Tuskegee's going to bring in their big set. Some of the big boys for Tuskegee. And the pitch along the right side. Whoa, what a tackle. Nice hit by Albany State. Number 12, Mike Pittman, the strong safety, coming up to fill the hole, and it's 3rd down. And that appeared to be a loss of about 2 on that, making it 3rd and goal from the 6. And so some substitution patterns. They bring in more receivers, and it looks like here now Tuskegee will try to go back and spread it out again. So they come out with 4 receivers. Fitzhugh, Huff in the shotgun. Looks for his man on a quick slant route, and flags.
And there's a flag there.
Flags come flying from all over the place. And it looked like it was intended for number 8, Calvin Russell. And that'll be half the distance if it is pass interference or holding. And yes, it is, and that'll be a first down.
Crucial penalty right there. It looks like Albany State was going to limit the Golden Tigers to a field goal attempt. Now they get a fresh set of downs, 4 times to punch it in from the 2.
Tuskegee with their 4th 3rd down completion. That one being the first by penalty. Huff under center. The pitch to Fitzhugh going along the left side, and he's going to find his way in for it. Tuskegee score, making it 12-3. And another impressive drive by the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee, who have really had their way with this Albany State defense. And on to kick the extra point for Tuskegee, Roosevelt Echeverry. And that kick is up through the uprights, and at 13-3. So 13:08 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Tuskegee building their lead, 13-3. You're listening to Black College Football on the BCSN.
Come along, pack your bags, get on up and jam, y'all. Come on and ride on the front now. To the land of funk, to the land of funk, to the land of funk.
And as we prepare for the kickoff,
And go over the first quarter stats here. We have the score was at the end of the first was 6-3. It's now 13-3. There were 8 first downs by Tuskegee, 2 by Albany State, 9 rushes for 22 yards by Tuskegee. For Albany State, there were 9 rushes for 6 yards. Passing for Tuskegee was 107 yards, 23 for Albany State. Kevin Huff was 10 of 13.
And on the squib kick, and that was a squib kick that time, it'll be actually recovered there by number 44, Darkus Lane from out of Eaton, Georgia. And we're going to stay here with the action as we go over those first quarter statistics.
Back on the statistics we have for Albany State, they were 2 of 4 as far as passes. The total offensive plays were 13 for 29 yards. For Tuskegee, 22 plays for 129 yards.
Hosea Harris now under center. Single back Antoine Andrews. He's got trips to his right. Actually, handoff to Andrews. Woo, and he is hit and driven back. On that initial hit was number 55, Marcus Wright. And from up here, all we saw was Andrews moving forward, and all of a sudden looking like he hit a wall.
He did.
And he's driven back. And he did manage to pick up a yard, though, in his forward progress, creating a 2nd and long.
It was a hard hit by Marcus Wright.
Harris out of shotgun. Now he audibles into an I set. In the backfield, he'll roll around left side. He'll keep it, and he's got a man, and Harris is going. He's got the 45, the 40, the 30, 25, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Albany State. On the keeper, Hosea Harris gets past the safety, and boom goes the cannon. Albany State with their first touchdown of the ball game, making it a 13-9 contest.
Looked like they had the defense a little confused there, but a lot of open field as Albany State able to carry it in for 70 yards, bringing a score 13-9, waiting on the PAT.
Matthew Hawthorne will try to bring it back to within a 3-point contest, and it hit the right and bounced its way in, so count that. So with 12:20 remaining, Albany State with a big score to make the contest. Tuskegee 13, Albany State 10. You're listening to Black College Football on the BCSN.
I got nothing but love for you, baby. I got nothing but love for you, honey. I got nothing but love for you, baby.
What you got?
I got nothing but love for you, honey. I got nothing but love for you, baby. I got nothing but love for you, honey. I got nothing but love for you, baby.
What you got?
I got nothing but love for you, honey. I got nothing but love for you, baby.
And Tuskegee will start on their own 24-yard line. 12:14 remaining, and at this point, I've got to believe the biggest adjustment for Albany State to make is how do you slow down this Tuskegee passing attack?
Well, you know, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because as we look at the conference statistics, Albany State is ranked in 3rd in passing defense, only giving up 145 yards per game.
In the first quarter, they gave up 129 to Tuskegee. Kevin Huff scrambling, gets rid of it.
Well, and actually, just to go ahead and set something conversely on that, for passing offense, Tuskegee is actually ranked 2nd in the conference at 216 per game.
Right.
So you got the strengths meeting strengths in that issue.
12:07 remaining in the half. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Tuskegee. Quarterback Kevin Huff in the shotgun. A familiar scene throughout most of this first half. Snap, steps up, finds a man in the middle of the zone. Pass complete.
Kenneth Henderson
with the reception, and that'll be a first down. Pickup of 11 out to the 35-yard line. I've really been impressed by the sharpness of Huff's passes and the routes that the receivers have been running. It's going to be hard to stop if they continue this. There's definitely going to have to be some pressure up front by all eight. And we've already seen, of course, in the war was a result of pressure up the middle, which forced Huff to scramble. 1st and 10. Huff in the shotgun. Here comes that pressure, and it'll be a screen out to
And
Fitzhugh, and he's tripped up.
actually a shoestring tackle by number 93.
Antoine Harold on that tackle. And there's actually a flag down in the secondary. Ball is spotted at the 40. Let's wait to see what the flag is. Usually it may be some sort of holding downfield. And we await the call from the officials. It's actually holding on the offense. And so that'll back them up 5 yards. Excuse me.
It's a 15-yard, well, a 10-yard.
Yeah, that'll back it up 10 yards from the original spot.
Would bring up 2nd and 20 for Tuskegee. Needing to reach the 45-yard line.
Clock begins again, 11:29, as the fans here at Albany Memorial Coliseum do the wave.
Albany Municipal Coliseum.
Thank you. Shotgun Huff, the fake reverse. He's going to scramble, and he can't split 2 defenders, and he's dropped by number 91 Alton Petway and number 7 Eric Crosby. And Crosby appeared to be a little slow getting up as he ran into Petway. It's a big fella to run into. And I see another flag on the far side of the field over by the Tuskegee sideline.
False start against Tuskegee.
And they're going to decline that, as several hundred coaches in the stands all agreed with the call on that one to decline that penalty after the sack, creating a 3rd and 20 now. Of course, Tuskegee 4 for 4 on 3rd down so far in this contest, but quite a feat for this one.
Actually 4 of 5 for 3rd downs this game.
Thank you for that correction. And it appears to be Kevin Huff sort of signaling to the officials that there may be something wrong with the play clock.
"11 minutes virtually left in this contest until halftime."
And still waiting on play to resume here. The last thing you want when you're in a 3rd and forever is to have this kind of delay, because you give the defense time to rest, you give the crowd a chance to get a little excited.
It's 3rd and 29.
Sounds like forever. And Huff now in the shotgun. Single back is Fitzhugh. Trips to his left. Huff drops. Looks for a man. Throws deep down the field. Picked off at the 36-37 yard line. And that play was picked off by number 23, Dimitri McCray. And almost as good as a punt. Especially when you're that deep. It was a nice attempt downfield, but nonetheless, that's the 2nd turnover by Huff. Of course, his first being a fumble in the 1st quarter, and so now Albany State, fresh off a score on their last possession, will start on their own 36-yard line. Harris under center. Handoff to Andrews around the left side. Check that. Number 6, Keith Moulton, junior from out of Houston, Texas, on the carry. Pickup of about 6, 2nd and 4. And back on the field, tailback Antoine Andrews. And Harris quickly to the line again, under center. Twins to his right. Play action. Harris, he almost slips and falls down. Now he's scrambling, telling his receivers to go, and he's going to get that ball out of his hands. So Harris did everything right on that play to avoid falling down and losing 10 yards on that one.
And it's third down situation for Albany State once again. Big play for the ASU Rams here. 10 minutes, 3 seconds. Ball on the 42.
From their own 42-yard line, Harris now in shotgun. Harris drops back and overthrows. Leads his intended receiver, Keith Mooten, just a little too much, and on comes the punting unit for Albany State. And back to receive for Tuskegee, number 25, Kenneth Henderson, standing on his own 20. Good punt. He's going to call signal fair catch, and that ball will be spotted at about the 16-yard line as well. They'll spot that. 9:50 as Tuskegee's offense will now come back onto the field. So a quick 3 and out puts the ball back in the hands of Huff. And of course, Tuskegee now in their 5th drive of the contest, and when they haven't had a turnover, they've scored a touchdown. So let's see if Huff can direct the Golden Tigers here under center, and he'll pitch to Fitzhugh. I believe in Fitzhugh around the left side will pick up about 5, battles his way forward for 6, maybe 7 yards.
Second and third effort by Fitzhugh. Keeps forward progress where he will pick up 6 yards.
Creating a second and a long 3. As the ball is spotted just inside of the 22-yard line. And so 2nd and 4 is what they're listed as. Huff under center. Backs in the eye. Hand off to Fitzhugh, who will try to go around right tackle, and he'll maybe pick up 2 yards on that as he fights his way. That was only a pickup of 1 looking at the spot. I'm sorry, it'll be a 3rd down and 3 now. And as Fitzhugh comes off, Kenneth Henderson comes in from off the sideline. Actually now Huff in the shotgun, empty backfield. Drops back, looks, can't find anything, but he's able to, actually incomplete pass intended for Kenneth Henderson, and it looks like that play was broken up by number 12, Mike Pittman.
Great defense by Albany State.
So both teams going 3 and out, and maybe the defense is starting to settle into this contest. Back to receive for Albany State, number 2, Brandon Green, standing on his own 36-yard line. Punt. Good punt. Green will sort of call a fair catch, then decide to let it roll, and takes a Golden Tiger roll all the way down to the 25-yard line. And with 8:17 remaining, Tuskegee still with a 13-10 lead. Without, you're listening to Black College Football on the BCSN.
Our culture, our world, our perspective, our network. JerichoBroadcasting.com. Jericho Television Network. The future of black media.
.8:17 remaining in the first half. Albany State with the ball by 3. Hosea Harris under center. Backs in an eye. And inside handoff that time to Atkins, and he'll cut off tackle and pick up about 5 yards out to about the 30. And creating a 2nd and 5 for the Rams. And still in the no huddle. The Rams. Harris going from out of shotgun to under center. Back switch to the eye. Once again, a handoff to Atkins. This time he'll go around the right side, and he'll pick up 5-6 yards, picking up a first down. Great running by Atkins, and that'll stop the clock for a moment, picking up the first down. Ball on the 37-yard line for Albany State. And as Atkins comes off the field, Antoine Andrews comes on. Harris under center. Tight end in motion. Inside handoff to Andrews. A big run. 10, 11, 12 yards right up the middle of the Tuskegee defense by Antoine Andrews. So Albany State going with the ground game. And what I noticed, Albany State really running a 3-back rotation, and in now is Keith Moulton giving Antoine Andrews a rest. Still in the no huddle. Harris, tight end in motion. Harris along the right side. The pitch to Moulton, and he's going to be wrapped up, and that's going to be a loss of about 5-6 yards on that as we try to make out who that Golden Tiger was that got that tackle on that. Looks to be number 19, Jonathan Harris, who managed to come up and knocked him back for a loss of 5 yards. So now 2nd down and 15. Harris calling the play from the line in shotgun in the backfield, joined by Moulton and Atkins. Drops back. He's going to keep it. Scrambles up the middle of the field, and he's brought down at the 50-yard line.
Harris is going to really need to be careful. He's carrying that ball out there like a like a loaf of bread in a bag over there. You know, he get one of these guys from Tuskegee. He's going to come up behind him if he makes too many more runs like that. I'm sure the coach isn't going to be shy about letting him know that fact as we see the bands preparing to come out.
5:45 remaining in this half. Harris now in shotgun, single back, trips to his left. Harris looks for his receiver, going deep, and passes incomplete. Intended receiver, Brandon Green. So close. Green unable to keep his feet, or either that pass was just a little out of his reach, and that'll bring on the punting unit for Albany State. Back to punt, Randy Allen, receiving for Tuskegee on their own 10-yard line. Number 25, Kenneth Henderson. And the officials will come together for a quick second. And
be a 5-yard penalty.
5-yard penalty there on the illegal participation.
And it'd still be a 4th down, 4th and 6.
Excuse my naivety, but what's illegal participation?
It's when somebody comes into the straight onto the line without somebody checking off, I guess.
Okay.
Allen with the
straight up
punt.
Not a very good punt, but.
And that'll actually take a Tuskegee bounce, and they'll actually down it at they'll call it down at the 29-yard line. And that's where Tuskegee will take over with 5:18. And yeah, just to clarify what Mr. Arrington said, illegal participation, basically 12 men in the huddle, or either in the game before the snap.
Okay.
So
Normally, it's the first time I've heard that terminology. Usually it's illegal substitution.
Substitution, right.
Illegal procedure.
Kevin Huff under center with 5:18 remaining. Play action. Huff going deep down the field, looking for Russell, and incomplete. Calvin Russell, the intended receiver, and that play was defensed nicely by number 14, Marcus Jefferson, 5'10" junior, giving up just a couple of inches to Mr. Russell, but good thing for Jefferson. He had that sideline, and so now 2nd and 10 on their own 30. Tuskegee. Huff drops back, pressure. He's going to scrambling to his right side, coming back to help him, and Huff is going to decide to go out of bounds, and he actually loses a yard, and he's chased out of bounds by number 59, Roger Cummings, number 91, Alton Petway, and coming from out of the backfield, or the defensive backfield, was number 12, Mike Pittman. So brings up a 3rd down, 11 on their own 29-yard line. And Albany State still getting their substitution patterns squared away, and they quickly call a timeout, as it may have only been 10 Rams on the field. We're going to take a hint. You're listening to Black College Football on the BCSN.
Come along, pack your bags, get on up and jam, y'all. Come on and ride on the funk now. To the land of funk, to the land of funk, to the land of funk.
And back to the action with 5:04 remaining. Tuskegee facing a 3rd and 11 on their own 29-yard line. Huff in the shotgun formation, empty backfield. He drops back, steps up in the pocket, faces some pressure, decides to keep it, and he's going to be wrapped up by number 7, Eric Crosby. Give some credit also appears to be number 94, Jason Marshall. And as we said earlier, James, the defenses have started to get their feet planted into this ball game.
Absolutely. It has been a defensive struggle on both ends. Neither offense really getting anything going after the first quarter, pretty much. 13-10 is the score. Albany State with the big offense early in the second quarter, 70-yard run. No more since then.
Back to receive, Brandon Green on his own 28-yard line, out to the 40. He's got some room, some running to the 40, 35-yard line, 30. Nice run by Brandon Green, a 5'8 junior, showing some speed and some elusiveness, especially right up the middle of the field. And almost right back to where Tuskegee punted from. So Albany State right back at you. And that'll be actually at about the 28-yard line, and if I'm not mistaken, that's right about where that punt came from. So now Hosea Harris with 4:08 remaining in his half, out of shotgun, 5 receivers, empty backfield. In motion is Moulton. Harris rolls, he keeps, finds a man, touchdown, Albany State. Antonio Ivy, and the cannon goes off. Just to let you know, right there, we've got ourselves a 16-13 ball game, and that's how you take advantage of great special teams. That is exactly how it's done.
Absolutely, and this is the first time in this 2005 season that the Golden Tigers have trailed.
Great point. And the extra point attempt, the kick is up, and it is good. And so it'll be interesting to see how Tuskegee, as James said, first time they've trailed all season, 4:02 remaining. Albany State 17, Tuskegee 13.
Are you looking for that hard-to-find HBCU gear? Well, your search is over. PersonalBuy.com. PersonalBuy.com is the #1 online source for black college apparel and accessories. They also specialize in black Greek paraphernalia and pins. Check them out at PersonalBuy.com. So what's it going to be when you need that black college stuff? Where do you go? It's got to be PersonalBuy.com.
Back to the action. Golden Rams with a 17-13 lead over the Tigers of Tuskegee. And a game which had almost looked like had been in Tuskegee's control is now they're playing catch up. Russell receives it at about the 20, running around the left side, and he's going to go out of bounds
At about the 35-yard line.
Spotted on the 33, just a couple yards short of that. And that is where now Kevin Huff, who they've actually gone 3 and out, if I'm not mistaken, the last three drives. So this is a very important drive with 3:56 remaining. Albany State's defense has dug in, and they've kind of slowed down Kevin Huff and Tuskegee. So there's Huff in shotgun, drops back, and he finds his man. That pass is dropped. Wow, hit intended receiver appears to be number 25.
Yes, 23. Okay,
Check that, number 20.
That was John Thomas, number 23.
23, John Thomas. He had it in his hands right at the first down marker and dropped it upon being hit. So 2nd and 10 now for the Tigers. Shotgun again for Huff. Inside handoff on the draw to Fitzhugh, and he's got some room. 45 to the 40. And wow, what a pickup. That's about 15 yards on that run. A great draw to Fitzhugh, and that'll put the ball right at about the 48-yard line. And Fitzhugh showcasing his speed. First and 10 for the Tigers. Trying to move into Ram territory. Huff in the shotgun. Drops back in the flat, and he puts a little too much on that. That ball is high, intended for Lorenzo Crawford. And that'll be 2nd and 10. For the Tigers. As we said, both of these teams coming to this contest. Tuskegee in first place in the conference. Albany State in second, and both teams favored to win. Out of the shotgun, this time he's able to hit Crawford, who holds on to it, and it's only a pickup of about 2 or 3 yards, and he'll cross over into midfield, and it'll be third and 8.
Actually, in the conference standings, Fort Valley State's #1. They have a 2 games more that they've played. They're also undefeated in the conference. Second is Tuskegee, the only other undefeated conference team. And actually third is the Albany State Rams. They have a conference loss by way of Valdosta State.
Huff in shotgun, and he finds a man. It's completed. A pickup of about 13, 14 yards to number 82, Stanley Reed. with his first reception of the ball game. And it was a great point brought up, James. And maybe here coming up towards halftime, we'll kind of explain a little bit about that conference loss to a non-conference opponent. Huff once again in shotgun in Ram territory, and he passes out to Reed again, who picked up 5 yards, creating a 2nd and 5. They'll spot it on the 37-yard line, Ram territory, and approaching the 2-minute warning. Actually, there's no 2-minute warning in college, more like the 2-minute mark in this half. Huff in shotgun formation. Twins out to his right. Passes backfield to Henderson, and now Henderson will go backwards. He'll try to halfback pass, picks up some blocks at the 30, 25-yard line, and whoa, he picked up some crackbacks on that play. Great work by the offensive lineman to help Henderson from actually taking a loss, as he went almost about 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage on that play. Picks up a first down and moving to the 24-yard line.
And if we ask Coach Carmody, I'm sure that's exactly the way he drew that play up. Just think it happened.
I don't think he would have changed a thing.
So now 1st and 10 on the Ram 24-yard line. Huff with single back. Drops back in the shotgun. Finds a man. It's actually taken. Wow, great interception by number 41 for Albany State, who's going to take it all the way back to the 33-yard line. Roderick Whipple actually just took that ball from out of the intended receiver's hands. Not quite sure who that intended receiver was, but Whipple, actually either stepped in or just took it out of the hands of the receiver on the 2-yard line, actually. And so the Rams, the defense has really stepped up for them these last 4 possessions, and back on the field, Hosea Harris with 1 minute and 11 seconds under center. High handoff that time. The handoff appeared to be to Antoine Andrews, and the Tigers swarming on that play. It's only a pickup of 2. And even though Albany is in a no huddle, the clock ticking, 45 seconds remaining. And yeah, there's going to be even a legal substitution.
Legal participation.
Yeah, on Albany's. So that'll back them up 5, as appeared to be some confusion. And 2nd and 13 with 44 seconds remaining. And let's see, it'll be a 2nd down, 13 from their own 30-yard line. A 17-13 lead for the Rams. Harris, under center, appears content to run the clock down. Single back, inside handoff, that time to number 9, Antonio Ivy.
That should be the final play of this half.
13, 12, 11 seconds, and yes, it will be. And the Golden Rams receiving a standing ovation from the home crowd. Basically a tale of 2 quarters. And Albany 17, Tuskegee 13. And we're definitely expecting a great second half of action. Live from Albany, Georgia, this is Black College Football on the BCSN.